Yeah, I'm still reading That's What the Old Ones Say by Chief Joseph Riverwind, and I'm on page 107 of his book, That's What the Old Ones Say. And it says here, what were their names? Why did this happen? Why was such cruelty executed by the soldiers rewarded with medals of honor? These were all men, women, and children who were massacred for merely gathering to dance and pray to the Creator for help. Please pray for healing among the Lakota people who are still suffering today and are more impoverished than any other tribe. These matters become more difficult when prominent people in our nation's history greatly influence the way that America perceived First Nations people. This attitude towards First Nations people also permeated the White House under the President of Abraham Lincoln. Mankato, Minnesota, December 16, 1862. The failure of the U.S. government to honor its treaties with First Nations leaders of different tribes sign over their lands to the U.S. government. It was in exchange for provision of food and money, which would help sustain their life and culture. It is estimated that the land that was signed over by the Lakota alone was over 1 million acres. The Indian agents who were paid to make sure that money and supplies were dispersed properly were found to be keeping the money and selling those supplies, including food, to the settlers. Any food that did trickle down to the people was spoiled and not fit for eating. As a result, hunting parties will sneak off the reservation with the hopes of finding food. One of those hunting parties took eggs from a chicken coop on settlers' land. The punishment for this infraction was an order by the President Lincoln to execute by hanging 303 Lakota men. Minnesota Governor Alexander Ramsey set out to exterminate Indians from their homeland by using any means necessary. He sent a message to President Lincoln asking him to order the immediate execution of all 303 people who were deciding on whose side they would fight on. As rumors of civil war began to engulf the nation, President Lincoln offered the following compromise to the politicians of Minnesota. The list of Indians to be executed will be brought down to 39. In exchange, President Lincoln promised to exterminate or remove every Indian from the state and provide Minnesota with $2 million in federal funds. The irony being that the U.S. government only owed the Lakota Sioux $1.4 million for the land. December 26, 1862, the Great Emancipator ordered the largest mass execution in America's history, where the guilt